The price of the shirt. The cold light of the small workshop buzzed, casting long shadows on the floor. A hard-working father sat at his desk, staring at bills he could barely afford to pay. In the corner, his son scrolled through his phone, completely unaware of the financial danger his family faced. The father knew he had to teach his son a lesson before it was too late. He called the boy over, his face serious and filled with a quiet, heavy worry. Without saying a word, he dropped an old, faded t-shirt onto the wooden table between them. "Son, tell me, how much do you think this old t-shirt is worth?" the father asked. The boy looked at the torn fabric and shrugged his shoulders with total indifference. "It is probably worth just $1, Dad," he said, wondering why his father cared. The father leaned in close, his eyes locking onto his son like steel. "Take it to the crowded market right now," the father commanded coldly. "Do not come back home until you sell it for $2. The boy was shocked, but the look in his father's eyes stopped him from arguing. The market was loud, chaotic, and filled with angry vendors and rushing crowds. For hours the boy stood in the hot sun, but everyone ignored him or pushed him away. Fear started to kick in, forcing him to speak louder and try harder than he ever had before. Just before the sun went down, a man finally stopped and handed him $2 for the cloth. A rush of excitement hit the boy as he ran all the way back to the workshop. He threw the cash onto the table, breathing heavily but feeling proud of his first real win. The father did not smile. He simply nodded and placed a second old t-shirt into the boy's hands. "Good. Now take this one, use your brain, and bring me back $20, the father said. The son froze, his mind spinning at the impossible demand. $20 for a $1 shirt felt like a trap designed to make him fail. But instead of complaining, a strange new spark of anger and determination woke up inside him. He refused to give up, forcing himself to think of a clever way to make the shirt valuable. He remembered a friend from school who knew how to print cool cartoon characters onto clothing. He ran to his friend's house and asked him to print a popular cartoon hero on the front. Suddenly, the old shirt looked completely new, bright and exciting to look at. He took the shirt to a park near a wealthy school, where rich families spent their afternoons. It did not take long before a little kid spotted the cartoon and begged his parents for it. The parents gave in and paid $20, leaving the boy trembling with pure thrill. He burst into the workshop, ready to celebrate, but the final and most dangerous test was waiting. His father looked up, his face unreadable, and handed him a third t-shirt. "You did well, but here is the real challenge. Sell this one for $200. The room went dead, silent as the massive number hung heavily in the air between them. $200? That is impossible, the boy cried out in disbelief. But he stopped when he saw the deep trust burning in his father's eyes, and he knew he had to try. He stepped out into the dark streets, his mind racing against the clock to find a solution. Suddenly, he heard shouting down the road. A famous Hollywood actress had just arrived for a movie premiere. A massive, angry wall of fans and security guards blocked the entire entrance. The boy knew this was his only chance, so he dove straight into the dangerous crowd. He was pushed, shoved, and bruised by angry people, but his determination kept him moving forward. With one final, desperate push, he broke through the line right as the actress walked past. "Please, sign this," he shouted, his voice so raw and honest that the superstar actually stopped. She looked at the bruised boy, smiled at his brave spirit, and signed her name on the shirt. Holding the signed t-shirt tight against his chest, the boy escaped the crazy mob. He ran directly to the busiest part of the city market and held the shirt high in the air. He shouted at the top of his lungs, offering an official autographed shirt for $200. Within seconds, a massive crowd gathered, and a wild bidding war began to take over. People started screaming out higher prices. and the excitement turned the street into an absolute battleground. The price jumped higher and higher until a rich buyer finally bought it for $2,000. The boy sprinted home, his heart exploding with triumph as he threw open the doors. "Father, look! I sold it for $2,000, he yelled as tears of joy ran down his face. The father's strict face finally broke, and his eyes filled with tears of deep pride. He pulled his son close and whispered, "What did this hard journey teach you, my son?" The boy took a deep breath and replied, "I learned that if we have the will to do something, a way will always open." His father smiled warmly and said, "Yes, just like you made that old shirt valuable, you can raise your own value in this tough life." "Remember Thomas Edison?" the father said. "He found 1,000 ways that wouldn't work before making the light bulb. Believe in yourself, face every scary challenge, and never give up without your best effort. The value of your life is exactly what you decide it to be.